Hi guys, welcome back to Jungle Flowers Canada. My name is Grania and thanks for joining me. Guys, I hope I'm not too backlit here and that you can see me well enough. But today I decided I was going to do a tour of my greenhouse. Now, those of you that have been following me will know that my husband and my son built me a greenhouse onto the side of the house. I absolutely love this space, guys. It's so tranquil, like a little bit of meditation in the middle of the day. So I have started moving out more of my plants, and they are still, a lot of them are still in the juvenile stage, but they will get bigger. Be rest assured, they will get bigger. So only recently I started collecting the larger plants. So I have been collecting plants for almost 3 years now, and Hoya was probably my main interest. I think I started off like a lot of people, loving succulents, and I think a lot of people get into plants that way. And where I did have some, like I did have the Monstera Deliciosa High Constellation, I've just recently started getting into the aeroids. The reason I didn't get into them earlier, which was foolish of me because they were much cheaper back then, was because I didn't have the space for them. Well, at least I felt I didn't have the space for them. So now I have the greenhouse, I know that I will be able to fit more plants in here. I've also made some modifications to my home. I have moved my dining room into my living room because my family is getting bigger, and this has actually created an ideal plant area for larger plants. So now I am starting to grow my larger philodendron, alocasia. What's the other one? Guys, honestly, I'm just getting so old. My memory, I'm like Dory now from, I'm like Dory from Finding Nemo. Seriously, spin me around. I have forgotten what I was thinking about by the time I have come back around again. But anyway, I am starting to collect some of the larger plants now. I wish I had done all of this 2 years ago when they were affordable. Now we know they are ridiculously expensive. So I'm starting off small. I'm getting cuttings and doing trades with people, because really I know I say this, I'm like a broken record, guys. I can't justify some of the prices that are being charged for plants these days. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a look, and I'm going to bring you in from the entrance. So my entrance is actually through my laundry room, and I'm going to show you some of my babies. Okay guys, so I'm at the doorway of my laundry room. And this is my first glance when you walk in. So in this corner here, I have my succulents. Now I do have a lot more succulents downstairs under my grow tent, but I just brought up some of these. Now these guys go outside my house every year. And these ones are probably, they've had their second summer outside. So you're going to see that some of them are very mature. So let's go a little closer and take a look. Oops, I'm losing my balance. Okay, so here we have some aloe, an Echeveria, a few little Echeverias. We have a ripple jade. We have a snake plant. We have some donkey tail. Here are some of my Monstera Dubia, guys. So they are, one of them is going to grow up this wall with some luck. Here I have, this is a creeping, I think it's actually from the Echeveria family. And what I do every year when I bring it in is I break off the bottom and stick them in the top to fill it out, because it gets a little sparse after being out for a while. Another beautiful Echeveria, ripple jade, Echeveria, some aloes. There's a baby agave from my mama agave. I love this plant. Another beautiful Echeveria, and you can see, guys, they have actually just finished flowering, so I will cut off those flower stalks. Here we have the Taniki rubber plant, which is giving me some new growth. And here is my attempt at my living wall. Now, nothing on Kaylee Ellen, guys, but it's very pretty. There is a Hoya sunrise, which actually isn't going red, but I think in the summer when it's very hot in here it should do better. There is a Mousetail Cactus, a furry, is it donkey ear? Not donkey ear, panda ear maybe, I can't remember, guys. There are my string of hearts. a little Syngonium. This is Kentiana, my Kentiana, which is a cutting from the one that reverted from Varragata. Pepperoni Hope. Look how pretty she is. This is the lipstick, the Black Pagoda lipstick, cutting from the one upstairs. Here's a Ripsalis. If you watched my last video, I couldn't for the life of me remember the name of them. Another Syngonium. This is a Tradescantia. I thought it was a very pretty one. I really liked the leaves on it. I'm not sure what it's called. This here actually is an ice plant, which I didn't realize was an ice plant until I saw the little flower on it. Here I have a moss. Isn't that just gorgeous? You have to keep these very wet, guys, or they won't survive. There's a fern, again, has to be kept very wet. I have lost some leaves on that. And an ivy. So I think when it's mature, it should look pretty beautiful. What else is in this corner? There is just a Sansevieria. It was one of those plaited cylindricals, but I unplaited it because I just wasn't crazy about it. Now up here I have my tiger fern, which I brought in from outside. Let me see if you can see the variegation on it. Really pretty. Needs a little bit of rehab because I didn't bring it in early enough. And here is one of my newest purchases. And you know what? It was called a Rex Begonia, but I know there is another name for it, and I do know the name, but I can't think of it, so I will get it and put it up. But look at how gorgeous this is. Like, words can't describe the beauty of some plants, hey? Like, it's just stunning. I cannot wait till it starts to grow down. What have we here? We have my Sarawak Hoya. So there's actually 2 plants in there, guys, so I'm hoping that this will get really big and long. It's the beauty about having my greenhouse. I now have space. Here is my Christmas cactus, not looking that great. Here is a small Philodendron micans. I have a few micans, guys. These are just cuttings, but I hope to get a nice big one in here soon. This is the, I can never pronounce this, Homalomina, I think it's called. And I don't know the variety, but that gets very large. And here is my Philodendron micans. This was huge, guys, but it had gotten very leggy. I wasn't happy with it, so I literally cut it right back and took tons of cuttings. But you can see there are babies coming again. This is an Albo Syngonium. And here, this actually did not do well in my house, and I'm not sure what was going on with it, but it's starting to pick up again. So it's a Stramanthe Trio Star. I've had this plant, guys, I'm guessing almost 3 years. It has been fantastic. It has declined, fantastic, and declined again. So hopefully it's going to like its life here in the greenhouse, and it will do so much better. Here, guys, is my lovely Epipremnum Pinatum Varragata. That got thrips, but you can see, guys, there is a new leaf. So I'm very happy that it's starting to come back to its glory. Here is a Hoya elliptica, a Hoya Lisa Sunrise, the regular Hoya australis, which I really like. I think it's so pretty. A Painted Lady Philodendron, another Syngonium Albo. There's another actually under there. Hold on, let's get in under here. Here is another elliptica, another Sarawak. Here is the Hoya Carnosa Freckles. Can you see the little freckles on it? Here is, let's wait for, guys, let me mispronounce this one again. Hoyscheliana, I think it is, and it's yellow flower. I think that's another elliptica. You know what? They all look very similar. And here is the pink Syngonium Splash. Now you can see she's getting a new leaf. She wasn't doing great for a while, but she's coming back. And here, oops, let me sit down in my little chair. Here I have a Hoya Sunrise. I think could be another elliptica. Let me feel the leaf. Yeah, another Hoya elliptica. Hoya Callistophylla. Now I do have Finlaysoni, guys. They're very hard to tell apart, but I do believe that this is the Calistophylla. Here is my pink princess, guys. So I knocked the newest leaf off of it, but if you can see there, can you see there is a new leaf coming. So I'm hoping that it is going to be nicely variegated, but I couldn't believe it. I knocked the new leaf off of it maybe about 3 weeks ago, and I was so mad with myself. Here is my Monstera Deliciosa, which I'm hoping will remain variegated. So if it does so, it will be what is considered a sport. You can see there is some variegation there, this beautiful bit of variegation here, and then there are just tiny, I don't know if you can see it, just tiny little streaks here and a little bit on the corner there. Now this is the newest leaf and I'm not seeing any variegation on it, but hopefully it'll give me a little bit of variegation. If not, I guess I'll have to do with a little bit that I have. Sorry, Penny is giving out. What's wrong, Penny? Leroy! Leroy! Here's Leroy. What are you doing? Yes. Oh, and there's Penny. Are you going to say hi to the camera? Are you going to say hi to the camera? They've locked themselves in the laundry room and now they can't get out, so they're giving out. They are my little babies. This will be my first year, my first Christmas at home without any of my children. Well, they live close by, they'll be over, but so let's move on. Okay, so here I have my Burl Marx Philodendron, and in here I have my Birkin, Philodendron that's my grow light. My Philodendron Birkin, which we know I love. And my daughter picked this up on Marketplace for me. Isn't it the cutest, this little wheelbarrow? She was so excited about it. So I have it in this corner here. And here is my Philodendron Brazil. So guys, I bought this in Valley View, oh gosh, many months ago, and it just has been a struggle the whole time for it. So now that I have it out here, I'm hoping that it's going to do better. There is my gorgeous Philodendron Tiger Tooth Ring of Fire that I vacuumed. If you remember when I put the floor in my greenhouse, I vacuumed it. But there is some new growth and I know it will come back. This is another Painted Lady Philodendron that's struggling just a little, so I just have her here. And I'm confident that she'll come back to herself. Here we have some Polonia Repens, which is just the best plant ever, guys. I have a huge one in the house. I just took some cuttings and put one in my kitchen, and it just gets enormous, does well in low light. I just love the leaf. I think the leaf is just so interesting. And this one looks a little bit battered. I think it was a piece that fell off and I just stuck it in a pot. Now, there is a lady who watches my YouTube that I bought this off of. And the last time I did a video, I couldn't remember the name of it. And she reminded me of the name of it. And I have forgotten it again. So it's a beautiful Syngonium. It did have 2 leaves. It lost a leaf, but I'm hoping to get another leaf again soon. Here's another Monstera Dubia. You can see I probably have way too many of these now. But this one, I think I will try growing up this one. This is not ruby necklace. Is it ruby necklace? I can't remember. My daughter gave it to me. There's no soil in there. She pulled it out of her pot because I had given it to her, and I managed to lose mine, and she brought it back to me, and I still haven't put soil in it. Just shows you how resilient these succulents are. So guys, this is my Pepperoni Prostrator. This was a little cutting I started off probably about 2 or 3 years ago, and I had it in my bedroom, actually in my ensuite window, and it never did, like, it grew, but it never got large. Look at how tiny they are. So I'm hoping they will do better. You can see it was actually so long that I wrapped it around the top. So I'm hoping that it will take off and fill out and I will get larger leaves. So I actually love this. I had a huge one, guys, a huge one, and I killed it. I don't know what I did to it, so I'm hoping that this one will come back. Here is the Dapsis Trubia Moonlight. So I imported these from Thailand, and a lot of the leaves curled, but not to worry, they are starting to put out new leaves, and the new leaves are perfect. Guys, this is a cutting I got from my daughter. It's a Philodendron Lemon Lime, And I'm not sure, I did treat all of my plants for thrips. I'm not sure if this is thrip damage, which I think it might be, but you can see, oops, sorry, you can see the new leaves are coming out fine, and I think it is coming back to its glory. I'm hoping it'll do well here. Again, I didn't have it in the best conditions, so I'm hoping to see some great things from this. Here actually is another Philodendron Moonlight, and here is an example of the new leaf. So you can see the new leaves are coming out fine. The older leaves are curling, but they're actually, if you can see, there's another new leaf coming. Here I have another Calistophylla. I'm baffled as to where my Philodendron are. I know I have a load of them down under my grow tents, but I thought I had some in here. Now I know I gifted one to one of my lovely plant friends, so maybe the rest of them are down in the basement. I'll have to go and take a look. Here I have my Hoya shepherdii. I can never pronounce these. I actually had this in my laundry room for about 2 years, and like it grew away fine, but I hope it'll do better here. I did actually get another cutting of this from Lucia, from Lulu's Leaves, so I will add it to the side here and try and bulk it out. But all in all, I think my plants are going to love it here. So here is my beautiful greenhouse. Here is my favorite saying, building my jungle one plant at a time. And here I have my humidifier, my heater. Now something we did notice, on the really cold days, the windows, like they feel cold. So I had some extra panels out in the garage, and I actually stuck them here. Oh, I just kicked over my Trubia. So these were actually cut this size, and they fit perfectly. And the difference, like when you put your hand here, there is no cold. So we actually went out and bought more panels, and we're going to actually double glaze all of the panels for the winter. Now we have absolutely no problems. The heat stays in. Sometimes we get a lot of condensation and we get a lot of dripping from the ceiling. So when we put in the new panels, hopefully that will solve that issue. But we have had no problems at all with keeping the heat and the humidity in here. So let me just give you another pan of my babies. Oops. Of my babies. And this is actually a grow light. I put this on in the evening when it gets dark, and I leave it on till I go to bed, just to give it a little bit of extra loving. It is on a pulley, so I can lower it and higher it as needed. So there we go. Oh, I have to show you guys, I bought this little beauty on Marketplace. It is a little chair, and then oops, and with a little flip it becomes a stool. Isn't that the cutest? I will refinish it. I also bought an antique step ladder, which I'm going to bring out here, but unfortunately it's so rotten I have to do some work on it. Okay guys, so I'm kneeling down because I'm too lazy to bring out my tripod. I don't know if you can see how hot I am. It's so warm out here. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to ask below. If you wouldn't mind giving me that thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be so helpful. You guys have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining me.